seven colors of a light has to be concentrated and has to be integrated. If they are prismatic and if they are giving you separately, then it is not one integration. And when it is one integration, then you cannot see seven lights. So the person is not integrated. Now all these auras come to us because we are made of 7 type of cocoons within us. But the people who are on the right side only believe in the 5 cocoons. They call them koshas. I don't think if I have time for that, but these are the koshas are created by, one is created by the first center, by the second center, by the third center. This is the physical things, by the 4th one, then the 5th one, and the 6th and the 7th are the things that they do not create auras outside. They create inside near the heart. And these are created near the heart, but as soon as you get your realization, they all become one. They all merge into one, and that is the spirit. So, as if you can say, when the spirit exists in a prismatic state, then you get the auras of 7. But when it becomes integrated, that you become one, all the auras become one. So integration is the aim of Sahaja Yoga. And now I think I have told you how you can also go to the subconscious area the same way. The subconscious area you can move on the left hand side. If you move into collective subconscious area, say for example, you can be triggered into cancer. By this triggering, you might get heart attacks and things like that. Diabetes now. Many people believe sugar gives you diabetes is nonsense. Sugar doesn't give you diabetes. What gives you diabetes is too much thinking. Those who do not think too much never get, Indian farmers never get diabetes, they don't know what disease is this. Because you think too much, you work too much, this center works too much. It has to create food for the brain. It has to replace the brain centers. And these brain centers are to be replaced. For that it creates out of fat the new centers, the evolved cells that are sent here, and because of that work, if it is too much, it neglects the other things which it has to work out throughout. One of them is the spleen, another is pancreas, and when it neglects the pancreas, you get diabetes. Not by sugar, of course, sugar because it has to convert it into fat. But if you do not have sugar, then it's a double work. If you have sugar, it converts it into fat and makes it useful for your brain. But if you think too much, then and you don't take sugar, it's a double action. But if you just take sugar and do not think, also can be problematic because he has to convert too much of into fat. You see, so too much work is given, there is no balance. So one has to understand that too much sugar is not good, but you must take sugar because the sugar is needed, and stop your thinking. How do you stop your thinking? Only by rising above the Agya Chakra. This is a very, very important point at Agya, that you must know that the thinking stops. Now the thinking comes to you like this, like a wave. It rises, the thought, and falls off. Another thought rises and falls off. In between there is a place called as Vilamba. Now when the thought rises, it automatically falls down. You can see the rising of the thought but not falling off. Now this space is the place of present. This rises either from the ego or superego and goes into the past. The in-between space is the present. One is the future, one is the past. Now this space has to increase. When it increases, then what happens is that Agya Chakra opens more and you become thoughtlessly aware. You become thoughtlessly aware. You come in the present. There's no thought. And thought is the barrier between the creation and ourselves. For example, you look at this, say, a beautiful stone that is placed there, or anything. You watch it. Now, if you want to think, oh, it looks like a man, it looks like a devil, or it looks like a god, or whatever it is, there's a thought you're putting. So what you do when you are realized, you just watch. And whatever the joy is put there of the Creator, of an artist completely is within you, because there is no thought, there is no weight, there is no disturbance. In a completely silent lake, all that is around it, all that creation comes into it, absolutely reflected, and you enjoy it in thoughtless awareness, called as Nirvichar Samadhi. This complete Nirvichara, where you have no thought and you start enjoying that creation complete. The joy of that is there, nothing is lost. So the thoughtless awareness comes in when the Kundalini crosses this Agya Chakra. It does double work. First, it makes you thoughtlessly aware. Secondly, because the Kundalini, if it has pierced through, it pushes these and she fills these with the grace. The grace falls on this. When the grace comes in, you start relaxing. These centers also relax. These centers are in attention. But when the grace comes in, they go back into normal. So there is more sort of expansion, and the thoughtless awareness starts establishing itself at the Agya Chakra. Now the mantra of Agya Chakra is the Lord's Prayer. It has got two sides, Hum and Sham. Hum means I am, and Sham means I forgive. So if supposing this is catching, you have to say I forgive. If there is ego within us, you should say I forgive. If there is superego within us, you should say I am. I am. So it is Hum and Sham is the bija, is the seed of the prayer, Lord's Prayer. Now there are people who are talking the Lord's Prayer is not all right. I mean, who are you? What do you know about it? Everybody is challenging everyone. What do you know? What is your authority? The trouble is, everybody is entitled to do what they like with religion and with God. Though they do not know anything about it, they are absolutely ignorant, but they think they have a right, because there is no political control over it. Even Hitler can talk about Christ. Anybody can talk about him and about the prayer that he taught you. Who are you to challenge it? Who are you to challenge him? I can't understand. How do you challenge a person without knowing your own position in relation to him? But this is a very, very common thing that people do, and is due to ego. Ego makes you high-handed. And this is the worst type of high-handedness, that you challenge God, you challenge Christ, you challenge everything which you don't understand. Your mind is limited. It's a very limited vehicle. You cannot do anything with this mind of yours. You have to go beyond it. Somebody has to trigger you into the space. You have to go into there. You have to become the spirit. Only by realizing your spirit you can get connected with God. Before that you are not connected. That's why you have to become the spirit. And the spirit is the connection, is the link with God. There is no other way you can be linked with God. If you want to keep yourself in delusion, you go ahead with it. But this is the real thing I'm telling you, the true thing I'm telling you, for which you should know you cannot pay, you cannot purchase it, you cannot demand it, and you cannot work it out. The grace of God has to come, fall upon you to do it, or a person who is enlightened can only enlighten. Now, about Christ, if I have to speak, I've spoken once on Christ for 7 days, one after another. There's no end to it. It is such a great incarnation that I just do not know how to say that is I've spoken all about it. As it is, we have many tapes in London. You can send for it. We are now going to have a center here. Herman has offered his place, and we'll be sending those tapes there. At least 300 tapes we have got in London, which you can listen to and see for yourself. And all of these tapes are very good because they are actually mantras. They work out the mantras, and you also get listening to them, opening of your centers and all that. Now the last, which is embarrassing because he already has told you that I am supposed to have been here at this. It is the integration. The end of it is the integration of all these 7 centers. All these 7 centers are placed around this area called as the limbic. This is the limbic. Now if you cut it, the brain, like this transverse section of the brain, you'll find it's like a lotus. You can find it that there the marking is like a lotus opened out, and is 1,000 petals as called are like these. But the coloring is not all right. You people are so fond of these pastel colors, so they have used it, but we can say that this kind of 1,000 petal is there. Now it is said in the Bible that I will appear before you like tongues of flames. And these are, they all appear, but these are very large ones. And they appear as living flames in different colors, starting from one to another, and they are 1,000 in number. Now the doctors argue that they cannot be 1,000, they have to be 192. I mean, just imagine these foolish people to argue on that, but they do not know they are 1,000 in number and they are placed here. But in the limbic area, all the 7 centers are surrounded. Like we have got now, you see from here, this is the Agya Chakra. Here, behind it, here at the back, just exactly at the back is the Muladhara. Surrounding it is this Swadhisthana. Surrounding the Muladhara is the Swadhisthana. If you are catching on Swadhisthana, you can feel it within yourself, the heaviness here. If you are catching, say you have diabetes, give an example. Diabetic people get blind after some time. They lose the power of the eyes because this thing oppresses the optic lobe, which is controlled by the Muladhara chakra. We call it as back Agya, this portion at the back. So this is the Swadhisthana chakra here at the back. In the center here you find a bone, that's the Muladhara, and around it is the Swadhisthana chakra. Then here is the Vishuddhi chakra, is the Virata, is the Vishuddhi chakra here. When you catch cold, you'll find you'll have a problem here. But if you apply something here, you'll feel better. And this is the Vishuddhi chakra, which is related to your throat, this one. Now, if you have problems with collectivity also, you might find a big block here. Now, at the back of it is the Nabi here, at the back. This Nabi has a left and a right side. As we have shown here, the left Nabi and the right Nabi. There are 2 left and right Nabi. I don't know if I've told you about that left-right Nabi. But I mean, you can find out from the book that there is left and right Nabi. So you have got a left and a right Nabi. And also, you sometimes feel the Nabi in here. Some people do feel who have problems with their gurus and things like that, you see, then you feel it. But the whole void is here. And this void is called as Ekadasha Rudra. This void, the whole of it. It goes like a ring round. And this ring is very important because this you get it from the void. If you go to a bad guru or someone, you get this. And this is the one that is of the rider, the one who has 11 powers of destruction, the one who is going to come to slash out. Then he is not going to give you any counsel, he is not going to redeem you, no realization. He will slash out those who are not realized, and he will emancipate the one who are realized. That's the last. That you don't ask just now. Give some time more to save more people, because he is not going to question anyone. He is not going to allow you any more time, and that will be the time of complete destruction of all the satanic forces. So that is the Ekadasha here. That collects because all these horrible gurus are here. These are the Ekadashas. And this is one thing is to be understood, that one should get rid of this very easily. Now these 2 children of Rama who were born here were endowed on the sun and the moon. The sun and the moon both are here. And the sun became, as I told you, Buddha ultimately here, and he became not ultimately, the Mahavira. They are here. But when they were on this earth, Buddha talked about non-violence, and people taught non-violence to chickens, to bugs. These Mahavira people, these Jains, we have got horrible community called Jains in India, and they believe in vegetarianism to this extent that they get a Brahmin, pay him money, and put him in a hut, and bring all the bugs of the village, put those in the hut, and the bugs live on that Brahmin. It's a fact, even today they do. And then they pay some money to the Brahmin because the bugs are fed. Now you just tell me, this kind of a nonsensical vegetarianism, am I going to give realization to chickens? Just think of it, or to the bugs, or to the earthworms. You are human beings, you should eat a flesh which is not of a bigger animal than yourself, because that's horrible. But you can eat the flesh of the animals which are smaller than you. There's no harm in eating that. And this kind of a nonsensical vegetarianism don't do any harm to the animals. But they don't mind doing. These giants are the greatest. They are, you see, such just like suckers. And they don't mind killing people for their money. They don't mind going for what you call shikars in hunting and killing anything. But they will not eat a chicken or even the garlic. Now garlic, as you know, is very good for the heart. But they don't eat garlic. It's very good for the heart. It's very good for people who have got tendency towards hardening of the arteries. If the circulation is a problem, it's very good to eat that. And for cold, those people who suffer from cold, if they regularly eat a fresh garlic thing in the night, brush their teeth, they'll be much better off. So, while talking about it, I will say. Now these 7 centers are here. Now at the Fontenay is the center of the heart. Now just imagine, it is at the center. So where do I exist? I mean, all of them are 7 centers, so I'm just like a bubble. But if I'm in your heart, I'm there. So the key of Sahaja Yoga that you have to recognize me. If you cannot recognize me, you cannot progress in Sahaja Yoga. I have to frankly admit it, because he's already exposed me. I don't tell this in my first lectures, but I have to say that please now recognize me. As your mother, I would request you to recognize me. And you don't have to give me anything, just take things from me. Just have it your side, but recognize me. If you deny me, then this won't open, this will be always covered. That's why at the end when you say, Mother, give me my realization, because I have come on this earth to give you realization. That's my job. It's one of the worst jobs that one can have. because it is so difficult with people to talk to them, to tell them about it, and they are all the time up in arms. They are so aggressive and they start fighting. It's the mother's job, which is a thankless job, absolute thankless job. I have to do it, and also only mother can do it. Because if you had Christ, you would have taken those 11 things and finished off everyone. If you had asked Krishna, he has also Samhara Shakti, he would have killed. But to use the whole thing with integrated idea and with balancing, with understanding human beings, you have to have a mother. And that's why sometimes people try to become very familiar and start taking advantage or taking liberties, which is a wrong thing. Whatever I am, and I'm love. I can't help it. I really can't help it. I'm compassion. One day I did feel very disgusted, really. Once I did feel very disgusted with people the way they were, and I was just saying that, forget it. And then suddenly I saw my photograph, and I saw my eyes. And I said, Nirmala, you are compassion. You are compassion, you can't help it. You just can't help it. I have to work it out. I know it means sometimes too much, but I have to work it out. Now some people come out with a question, why you, mother? I said, why not you? It's a good idea. Come along and do it. I'll be the best. It will be the best for me to retire, and my husband might give you a pension for it. He'll be so happy that I have found out somebody who will replace me. But I have not yet found out somebody who will replace me. I wish you could. It will be a good idea. Now the name Nirmala itself means immaculate. means the one who is the cleansing part. Is the name of the goddess also. My actually sign name is Lalita, is the name of the primordial mother, that is the name of the primordial mother. But to be a human being, with all these centers around, you working, for example, for the last 3 days, you don't know how much I am vibrating. You can ask Warren and other people. I asked them to take the vibrations and they were doing like this, where they couldn't touch me. They tried to put the hand on the head and they were just, and they didn't know how to touch me, even it is so much vibrating. So it's not easy to carry all this load on this human body, appear like a human being, to act like a human being, to behave like a human being, so that there is a report. Why an incarnation is needed? There has to be a report, because the unconscious cannot talk to you. Whatever you see in the dream comes back to you afterwards from the subconscious areas. All the ideas, so it's such a mess, such a confusion, and you cannot decide anything. So it has to come on this earth as a human being and tell you with a language. I never knew English all my life. It's the first time I learned English, but still I don't know American English. I hope I'll be able to learn something more when I travel around. And it's a thing that it's God's desire that you have to be realized. It's all written in the Bible. It's all written in all the books of the scriptures. It is very largely written in the books of Adi Shankaracharya, who has described me fully, in a very full way. And it's easy for Indians to get to me. I mean, though I have not much disciples in the cities, but they are aware of my advent and they know that I'm there. Most of them know about it. But they can't understand why I have come to America. They say that why do you come here? The people here won't accept. But I don't think so, because I think you are great seekers, very great seekers, born in this country. You are special type, and I have to work for it. I must say the transformation that has taken place in the Western Sahajogis has not been achieved by Indians so much, though they have an advantage because they are born in a country which have basics, which keeps the attention intact. The attention is very much intact, so it is easy to work it out there. Here it is difficult, it doesn't appeal to people, but still, you are all great people, so many of you are lost, but they can be all saved. But those who are here should know that you have the greatest opportunity in your lives today to be realized and to give realization to others. First of all, you have to become all right. Then you can give light to others. Now, the greatest thing that is needed for Sahaja Yoga is wisdom. And logically, you will reach at a conclusion and understand that Sahaja Yoga is the end of all the problems of the world, of all the problems of the world. For example, take the capitalism and communism. Now, I am a capitalist because I have all the powers. And I am the communist because I cannot enjoy it without giving it to you. But it's spontaneous. I have not to do it because I think about it. It just works. It is like that. All the problems, political problems, economic problems, everything can be solved. Krishna has said, Yoga Kshema Vahamya. When you get your yoga, you get your well-being. He has promised. He could have said it, Kshema Yoga Vahamya. He did not. He said, Yoga Kshema Vahamya. First you yoga, first unite. Unite with the spirit, then you are blessed by all these things. This is the center of even material wealth of Lakshmi, which works out. And all the Sahajogis who have been to me are blessed by material wealth also, but not too much like Mr. Ford. That's an extreme case. That's a headache. But they get well-being from every angle in a balanced way and integrated. So the last message is of integration, that you get completely integrated. Whatever you do, your heart supports it, your mind supports it, and your body supports it. You are completely integrated in one being, that is your spirit. May God bless you all. So now, this is the last lecture, and I'm going to Philadelphia, and we pray that Philadelphia people get realization more, and we get more people into Sahaja, and that they become enlightened. Then I'll be going to Houston, then to Los Angeles and Vancouver for a day. If you have any friends or relatives there, you can write to them, take the address so that they contact and they come down to the program. May God bless you. Normally I don't tell about myself, but today he exposed me as soon as I came. I had to tell because it's not tactful. It's not tactful to say anything. It's better that you discover me than I tell you, because Christ was crucified, everybody was tortured. I do not want to hamper my work, because it makes no difference by telling you anything before realization. It's better to tell you after realization that I am the Holy Ghost. No doubt, I am the one about which Christ has taught. I had told them, I had never said this from a platform, and I told, they have been telling me, Mother, you must say that once. I said, in America I'll declare. So today I declare that I am the Holy Ghost, I am the Holy Spirit who has incarnated on this earth for your realization. May God bless you. Now, any questions?
Mother, I'd just like to say, I love you.
That's it.
And I would like to, sometime tonight, take the rest of the pictures because I'm not sure the others can have. And this is my important question. How can I still my thoughts?
What did he say?
How can I still them?
He wants to know, how can he still his thoughts?
Huh?
How can he still his thoughts?
Why? How can you?
He's making himself thoughtless.
You just say Lord's Prayer now before my photograph. All right? Work out. Lord's Prayer is the entry. It's the entry, no doubt.
There's a little announcement concerning all of you. There is a photograph of Mataji which is available from Tracy, who's sitting over there, which you can buy. It's a very good quality black and white photograph. And she has a few tonight. Christine will have a stock of those photographs. There is also a book called The Advent, which a few people have already received, about Mataji's Advent and about Sahaja Yoga, which you'll be able to buy once you settle into Sahaja Yoga. Don't forget that Christine is here, Herman is here with his home, which is offered as a meeting